Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have a pretty cool video for you today. Really excited about this video, primarily because, I don't know if you can tell or not, but my hair is laid, but it's dry. It's been dry all day because I've been prepared for this cut. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you a guide on how to cut your own hair. You can basically call this a self-cut guide for beginners. All right, there are a lot of videos out there. I'm going to break it down into language that you can actually understand. All right, stick tuned. So before we get started, the first thing I want to mention is we're going to be using a pair of Ulster Fast Feeds, okay? Now I want to be very, very clear before we go any further. The set of clippers that you use, while it does matter, it is not nearly as important as the guard size that you use. So in order to prepare my hair for this haircut, I'm going to comb it out. Now a lot of people may tell you to brush all the way up until you get into the chair or you cut your hair or whatever the case may be. But if you're just starting your self-cut journey, my suggestion would be to comb your hair out, because while your hair is combed, you can get a good idea of what you're actually cutting and what you haven't cut. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, now that my hair is combed out, you can start your cut. All right. Now I'm going to be using a 1 guard. I don't know if you can see this, but that's a 1 guard. Now I'm going to open the lever all the way. You didn't see that. I'm going to be open the lever all the way. When the lever is open all the way, it moves it up a half. So this 1 guard now is going to be cut at a 1.5. It's very, very important. Please understand, it is very, very important that you understand the length that you need to cut. If you're used to going to the barber and getting a 2 with the grain, do not put a 1 guard on your clippers, all right? Don't do it. Don't do it. So when you're cutting, you really just need to make sure that you're going in the same direction that you brush. If you're brushing a 360 beehive pattern, you're going to want to use those same exact angles for your cut. All right. Your clippers and your guard does the work for you, and this is the part that so many people get discouraged about. All right. As long as you're using your guard, as long as you're using the right angles, you're not going across the grain, you're not going against the grain, you're going to have an even cut all the way around. All right. Now, one more thing that I want to point out before we actually jump into the cut is it's important to remember your thin spots. All right. So most people are going to have thin areas either at the temple or in their crown area. Most people seem to think about your crown area as only the most center part of your crown. That was a tongue twister. Most center part of your crown, all right? When in actuality, your crown actually starts about right here, in this area right here. This is not your crown. That's the center of your crown. Your crown actually starts right here. And so this whole area within here, this entire area is going to be thin for a lot of people. So if you need to keep your crown thick, make sure you're stopping well before the most center part of your crown, all right? Now, normally when I cut my hair, I don't use a mirror. I've been doing this for a really long time. I'm not perfect, but I don't use a mirror for the purposes of this video. I'm going to use a mirror just to show you how you're going to be cutting your hair the same way that you brush. Without further ado, we've done enough talking, we've done enough explaining. Hopefully I've been informative enough to you. Let's go ahead and jump into the haircut. Now, of course, we still have some areas that we need to touch up on, but that is the basis of giving yourself a self-cut. You notice every single stroke, I went in the same direction that I brushed that part. That's going to be the same whether you have 360s, 540s, or 720s. You want to brush, you want to cut in the same exact direction that you brush. Cannot be any clearer. Now, you can, of course, cut against the grain, but if you're new to self-cutting, I would not suggest cutting against the grain because that does make your cut a lot lower than when you cut with the grain, okay? So with the grain, that means cutting in the same direction as you brush, okay? That's with the way your hair grows, with the grain. Just remember that, with the way your hair grows, with the grain. All right, so I actually like to keep my edges a little lower than the rest of my pattern. The reason why is, to me, it just appears that it gives my edge up a crisper look. So on my clippers, I'm actually going to close my lever now so that my lever is at a full 1 setting, okay? And that's it. Now I'm going to clean up my crown area. I'm actually going to cut my crown at the same level that I cut the rest of my hair. But in the video, I really just wanted to show you how if you're avoiding your crown because you want to keep it thicker, whether you need to wave up that area or whatever the case may be, I just really wanted to show you how far you would stay away or at what level you would stop in order to prevent cutting your crown. I really just wanted to show you at what part you would stop so that you would prevent cutting your crown out. Alright, so now the cut's done. We got all of our finishing touches on it. Man, one thing you have to understand is when you first start off, you're definitely not going to be as crisp. Your cuts aren't going to be as crisp as somebody who does this for a living day in and day out. So, I mean, if you still want to go to your barber for special occasions or for this or for that, that makes perfect sense. But this was really to show you how to start self-cutting if you want to save yourself a few extra bucks here and there, you know. But this is what the finished product looks like. If you found this video informative, please go ahead and subscribe. Appreciate you watching. This is your boy Lorenzo, aka Mr. Never Sleep. Peace out.